are tuning in to watch. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get this community going with this hot topic. Today, our topic of the day is toxic friends. Now, if you know of a person that's toxic, are you a friend with them? Or do you know some toxicity that's in your life that could be a family member, it could be an ex partner, it could be a coworker? The definition that Webster Dictionary came up with is someone whose behavior negatively impacts your well-being, either emotionally, mentally, or sometimes even physically. But how would you describe somebody that's toxic?
Somebody that's always in mess. Somebody that always got some drama going on. Ain't never got a peaceful day.
That sounds right up the alley that I was thinking. Webster Dictionary, they want to put bootylicious on there with a definition. So, they always got to have some type of definition on them. So, what behaviors make someone toxic? Like, would it be something physical or mental or emotional? Like, to me, I've had some toxic friends in my life that were more emotionally toxic. Always, gotta have their way type of toxic. Always gotta be center of attention type of toxic.
Toxic, yeah.
Always got to be the one that's right kind of toxic. I've also had the kind of friends that always wanted to see beef between friends. Toxic.
Yep.
I've also had a few stakeouts with some toxic friends.
I had great stakeouts.
Didn't know I was going on a stakeout until I was like, we sitting here? It's been 30 minutes. What we sitting here for?
Right.
You got to make sure that person came out by themselves or something. Toxic. That's toxic to me.
Right.
Do you have any other type of definitions of toxicity?
You summed it up.
I think I did pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of any example of a toxic relationship, friend, or experience that you may have came across?
Oh, yeah. I got a long list of experiences with friends.
Well, let's talk about one.
Okay. So, back in the day, you guys, I had a friend, okay? She wanted me to ride somewhere with her. So, I asked her where we was going. She didn't say. We drive to the destination, a Family Dollar first. Okay? I'm like, okay, Family Dollar. Might be nothing bad today. She goes in. She comes back out with a bag. I didn't ask what was in the bag. But then we go to AutoZone. So then I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's something we need for the car or something. And then she comes out of AutoZone. Then we drive about 10 blocks. Then we pull up to a car and she hands me a black hoodie.
A black hoodie?
A black hoodie.
She got from Family Dollar?
Out the back seat. She already had the hoodies in there.
No. Was there ones with the liners, with the satin liners? Or this is back in the day.
It was back in the day. No, none of that. I think it was a Family Dollar brand.
That's a great invention.
It was kind of suspect because it didn't have the strings in it. So I think she been had the black hoodie. But she told me to put it on.
Did you?
Yeah, I put it on. I asked her what we was doing. She was like, friend. That's what she called me. Friend. Let's come on. We just got to handle some business. So I'm like, okay. So I put the black hoodie on. And she said, we got to walk about a block. I was like, a block?
Yeah, she got you doing some hot stuff.
Yeah, some hot stuff, yeah. But she was my friend. So I was riding with my friend. Okay. So we get to the house and I realized the car is there. I said, friend, what are we doing? So my friend in the bag had some party spray paint decoration stuff, the different colors.
The silly string or whatever.
Yes. She begins to spray it all over the car.
Oh, that stains.
Yeah. Then she had some paint remover. I guess that's what she got at AutoZone.
Paint remover. What she do with the paint remover?
Start throwing it on the car.
Oh, just start removing the paint.
It started like melting on down.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Dang.
Then she popped the hood of the car and she cut every last wire.
In the car?
In the car. Yeah.
On the inside?
Yep.
So she was up underneath like the steering wheel?
No, she was under the hood. She popped the hood and went underneath.
hood?
Yeah. So that's up. Yeah.
Mm.
Then she worked on the leather seats next.
Mm.
Yep, tore up the leather seats front and back.
Wow.
It was a nice car too. It was all black.
Keyword.
Right. It was, yeah. So then she took the car battery, and then we ran back down the block.
She took the car battery.
Yep.
So she didn't cut those cords.
She cut those cords, but they was hanging off the battery because you know how you can cut them. So they were still on there. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all running down the block.
I said, what are we taking the battery for? She said, I need it for my car now.
Oh, dang.
You know? Yeah.
Did she shut the hood?
No, everything was like that.
Dang.
Yep.
So this was at night or broad
It
daylight?
was at nighttime.
Wow.
Yep.
Hence the black hoodies.
The car was somewhere it didn't supposed to be at. So
what did you do? What's your participation in this?
Yep. I just talked to my friend. That was it. I just talked. Friend, no, don't do this, friend. Don't do it.
Oh my God. Now the silly putty, I would have thought, she probably gonna put a note on there and say happy celebration or something. Silly putty ain't that bad.
Right.
When you put it on the car, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna be right.
Right.
Oh man.
Yep.
I had a situation where somebody destroyed my outside of my car. They threw I was supposed to go to like this Easter function, I think, and I ended up staying the night somewhere else, and I came back home a few days later, and I had all kinds of Easter basket grass on my car, and whole eggs, and it was jelly beans, and
oh wow,
it was all kinds of stuff all over the car. And when I saw it, I was like, at first I thought it was festive, but then I seen the anger and how those eggs was exploded on my windshield. Like, oh dang! Like I did something. I must have did something completely unbeknownst to me.
Right.
It was bad. So yeah, I also had somebody throw a brick in my back window too.
Oh wow.
That was when I was super young, young and dumb, But dang, that's some toxicity to do something to somebody's car.
Yeah,
that's
it really
toxic.
is. Yeah, it really is. That's all.
She had a whole plan.
Yep.
She got about the clothing.
Yeah. I understood her frustration, but I'm like, oh yeah, she got everything we needed.
Everything you needed. And you just along for the ride.
Yep.
So you said this was my friend. So are you still?
No, she's still my friend. Yes. This is my friend. Okay, this is my friend. And actually, my friend called me a couple months ago. Okay, because I missed her call. So when I called her back, 15 minutes later, it's too late, friend. I said, what you talking about? She was like, I seen this car outside and I knocked the rearview mirrors off of it.
Oh, she's still being toxic.
Yeah. So she said, you think I should go back and throw a brick through the window? No, friend, don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Don't do it.
That's if this was back in the day, she's still.
Yeah, she's still.
Toxic.
It got better, but.
At what point do you know when it's time to end a toxic friendship?
I don't know. She never did nothing too toxic to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like those toxic relationships that you're intertwined with are a lot different than the people that are in your circle that are toxic towards other folks.
Okay, so I think it's time to end a toxic relationship if they're still bringing you into their toxicness,
into their mess.
Yeah. So if she was to call me like, "Let's go, friend," right now.
Put on this hoodie.
Girl, please. Nope. That did too much stuff with you when I was younger. I know not to trust you. Okay, then we need to end this relationship because we too old now. We is too old, friend.
That is
like, no.
I mean, she's still not gonna rip your mirrors off, and she hasn't changed much.
No, I thought she got better.
She might need to recalibrate.
Yeah,
her picker.
That's what I said. I said, got to change the mind frame for one, and let's leave the same dudes you've been messing with for 30 years alone. Okay, you need to go for something different. Somebody would have got a car. Go with somebody without a car this time. Leave the dudes alone in the drive-in. Leave them alone. Yeah, let's get the bus takers, like, because friend, they don't work out for you when they driving.
Her picker's just off.
Yeah, it definitely.
Because at some point she has to think
yeah.
psychologically about why I get into these unhealthy relationships.
Right.
The attachment to these people that gonna make me have to destroy their vehicle.
Right. Because I'm like, I said in the day and age that we living in, these times, you could have been caught on the camera.
Absolutely.
You know?
And next thing you know, you behind bars. My friend, I need $5,000 for bail.
Shoot,
girl, guess you're gonna be there for a minute.
You're gonna be there. Yeah, you just got to serve your time. You know what I'm saying?
Reach beyond pen pal.
Because baby, the time is not now.
It ain't. It ain't never time for no mess like that.
That's why I'm like, no.
Have you ever spoken to her about her unhealthy picker?
Yeah. So
conclusion.
She gonna try to do better. But I'm like, I know that's what you attracted to, but the younger you is attracted to that type of person. You need somebody different for you now because that is not working out for you.
Wow, yeah.
Because you still busting out windows and tearing up cars and just all of that, then yeah, leave it alone.
Man, that's gonna cause you more trauma and trouble.
Yeah.
Than you willing to take on. Because at the time, I think when toxic people do these things to tear up your car or ruin your clothes or cut all the wires out your car, I think it's almost like the heat of the moment, but she had this almost planned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 different stores. By the time I got to the second store, I would have been calmed down a little bit. Like, yeah, this ain't gonna be. Yeah.
But it was a good plan to her. She was like, you know what?
It was a good plan.
It's gonna throw them for sure.
Yeah.
And let you know, you better call me next time. No, honey, ain't gonna be no calls. So did that relationship end?
That relationship, yeah. Then he knew, you know what I'm saying, that we were involved. And of course, he want his money for his car.
Of course.
So I'm like, oh, Lord, I ain't do nothing, you know?
I just was a participant in the unparticipant.
Yeah, I just went because that's my friend. You know, you're supposed to ride it out with your friends. I'm like, I ain't touching nothing. But now, like, don't get me involved in what you got going on. I'll listen to you, but don't get me involved.
Right.
And then I'm not putting no money on your books because we already done talked about this now. So I'm not putting no money on your books. So when you call, the call better be paid for. Okay?
For real. If I'm gonna be part of this relationship, you gotta make it not be expensive for me.
Right.
Don't let it cost me something.
Right.
That I ain't willing to pay.
Yeah, so
I think that's a good line to bring up to a toxic friend. Like, you know, you're gonna be who you're gonna be. But when it crosses the line where I'm involved and I can lose or it's going to cost me something, then that's when it's a problem.
Yeah, that's when it's a problem right there.
Yeah, that's when it's a problem.
Yep, you're right.
An unwilling participant to a stakeout is it's crossing a little bit of a line.
Yeah.
You should definitely let somebody know.
Right.
We're not just going for a ride with my kids in the back. We're going to go stake out somebody's house.
Right.
And if at any point I see something I don't like, I'm going to get out the car and need you to watch my kids while I go fight. You need to know these things, you know, because it's already in toxic people's minds. They already have a plan to be toxic and petty and this and the other. Do you think toxic and petty is the same thing, or is it like equivalent, or is it part of? That's a good one right there. It is.
Because I don't know if I would rather deal with a toxic person or somebody that's really, really petty.
Either or. Toxic or petty. Oh my goodness.
That's the worst combination.
I don't really like interacting with petty people because you never know what to expect from them.
Pettiness, they can get really, really petty.
Really, really petty. About anything. About anything and at any time.
Right.
A toxic person, you can almost kind of predict them to be toxic.
Yeah, because it's the way they used to moving.
Yeah. So, audience, what do you guys think? Or do you think being petty or having a petty friend is worse than having a toxic friend, or vice versa? Let me know your thoughts on social media. Hit me up at my Twitter or on here. Leave a comment. Let's get this conversation going. I think, in a sense, having a toxic partner and having a petty partner I think the toxic partner would be worse.
Right.
Because you already know that this partner is petty, and if you're late coming home from work, they're probably going to burn some of your stuff. They're probably going to be calling your mama 50 times.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to be cussing you out on your voicemail.
Right.
They're probably going to be, doing something, cutting the cords on your Xbox or something.
Right.
A toxic person is going to probably wait for you to get home and have a knife or some fire going.
Right.
Like, this is all finna burn down right now.
Right.
So I think they kind of go hand in hand in the way that I'm thinking. But let me know, audience, what you guys think. We're gonna start calling y'all the Sizzle Crew. Let's see what the Sizzle Crew got to say about this.
Right.
Toxic or petty? What is worse? Also, I wanted to say, when you're getting rid of a toxic friend, that's something that they can grow out of. You can grow out of being petty and toxic. You choose these things. You choose these attributes. It's not like you're choosing to be brown. You're choosing to be Caucasian. You're choosing to be athletic. You're choosing to be a procrastinator. These are attributes that you can get rid of. You can challenge yourself to be better, to be a better person.
Right.
Why do you think people hang on to these negative characteristics?
Because they don't want to grow, or they might like the rush of it.
You think it gives them like some adrenaline?
I think so. Some people, they get off on that. Like, some people not happy unless they ruining somebody's day somewhere.
Have you ever did something that was petty and toxic or toxic?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
At the time, it made me feel better. But longevity, no. But at the time, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. But I don't even think I felt better, really. You know what I'm saying? I just felt better for the time being.
It was like the relief, the instant relief, gratification.
Right.
I think all of us have experienced, especially, growing age, 20s, 30s, you start to see, okay, when I was younger, I probably would have told you out the frame. Or I would have, said some profane things to you.
Probably would have hit you with my car or something.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything.
But I think, like you said, when you get older, you start to change your ways. You start to change the kind of person you are, especially when you have kids.
Right.
You don't want your kids to have to go through things that you went through. So showing them an example that's better is healthier.
Right. Yep. Especially for your children.
But I know a few people that are adults, have children, but their children are adults with children, and they're still petty. They're still toxic. I think they're trying to actively change, but it's been such a part of their existence that they don't know how to turn that switch off.
Right.
Like, it's like, say, a road rager. When a road rager is actively trying to stop being so aggressive and angry, they can take breathing lessons. But it's also like a hair trigger. Like, somebody cut you off, you're like, sucker,
Yeah.
But it's almost like a hair trigger. So when working on these things, you should probably have some patience with them.
Right.
Me, myself, personally, would have distance. I put a lot of distance between toxic and petty people.
Yeah, see, that's what I find myself doing a lot lately. If it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm trying to grow, and so I can't grow if I keep on resorting back to old behavior.
Right.
So that's why I try to minimize with the kicking in. Maybe we talking on the phone more, but in person we not really seeing each other like that. And if the negative, like the toxic conversation or anything in that nature starts to come about, then I'll just shorten up the conversation. I'll call you back later,
Okay, yeah, that's part of your growth. That's a good idea. Is there any other things? Let's talk about some red flags. Okay. Like, what should people look for if they don't know if their friend is toxic or petty? What kind of red flags you think they should look out for?
they call every day with a problem.
It's a good one.
Because if it's every day in life is a problem, then then you know that you're the problem. You're the problem. Because why is every day of your life, as soon as you wake up, is a problem? Like, people don't have problems every day. So bad to where, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got problems, but come on now.
Sometimes you gotta take that in.
Yeah.
And hold your chest up and say, you know what? I'm not gonna let nobody ruin my day. I'm not gonna let nobody knock me off my square.
Right.
It's gonna be all right today.
Cause you tell me you went to work, you went to the store, you went to your mama house, your cousin, and your friend. It was a problem everywhere you went today.
Then you're the problem.
Yeah.
You're
the problem, friend.
That's some good facts. What about manipulation? Like, your friend manipulated you into taking a ride with them.
Yep.
And went to a couple stores. What was the red flag in that moment?
That she came and picked me up. That was the first thing right there. Whose car do you have right now, ma'am? That should have right there.
That should have told you.
I knew it was something. I'm like, oh Lord.
You done got a whole nother car.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who car this is because
yes,
it's not yours.
This is not your car. Like, why are we in a different car and you pick me up? You're being quiet.
That is a huge red flag.
You're not saying anything. And then now, boom, you stopped at 2 different stores and now you got some black hoodies. Yeah. I never relived that one again.
So you learned your lesson.
Yes. And I had talked to my friend after she was done doing what she doing, because now we got something to talk about, because you bringing me into your stuff and somebody could have recorded us or something.
Yeah.
At least let me be willing with you in this.
Let me know the plan so we can make it a better plan.
Yeah.
You know, let me put my
girl, we done ran 10 houses down.
Not run a block though. That's what blew me.
Yeah.
Ran a block. We want to run down this block.
Yeah,
now that would have been like, wait a minute.
We some good runners back then. We're some good runners, man. Call us the running crew. Go handle some business fast.
With a jug of paint remover.
Right.
And another bag of just some random stuff.
Then the car battery.
And then you run it back up with the car battery.
Yeah. You know, we got in that car. She was tired.
Still attached.
Yeah, she was tired.
I bet. You know
how much my arm's so sore. I bet they is sore. You ran 10 houses down with a car battery. They feel like spaghetti right now.
Oh my gosh. I can't. I'm picturing it in my mind, and that just looks like
a hot mess. Scene. A hot mess.
Ooh. Was they in the hood? Was y'all in the hood?
Yep, in the hood.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I'm surprised nobody said, "What y'all doing?"
It was pitch black.
Somebody always looking out their door, sitting on the porch. What y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm like, don't ask me
that man car like that.
For real.
What y'all running to? You know, it's always somebody out there like that. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't getting none of that.
Nope.
She planted out that day.
She planted out.
She been stalking to see what.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she. Yeah, she probably rolled past 3 times a day. Went at night.
So she has the tools.
Yeah.
She has the tools to be, to be better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she mapped out this whole thing. Yeah. And people, just like scammers, if they would use all that energy to scam, they could be doing something totally legal without taking somebody's bread or ruining somebody's life. You you got the energy for it. You could just be put into something else.
Right.
That was funny. So, how can a toxic friendship affect like your mental health and your emotional well-being? Like, say we're sitting right here and your phone rings and it's that name across that phone. Yeah. Does it give you that feeling like, oh God?
That's why I said, what done happened now? What is, a million things running through my head. Like,
you still gonna be friends with that person. You still care about them.
Yeah.
But it's that initial anxiety, like, oh, it takes you back to that situation you didn't want to be in.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
like, come on, friend.
Whoa, a hoodie, boy. She said, I put it on.
Yeah. Why do we? Yeah, but
can you? So you did talk to her afterwards?
Definitely.
And so you salvaged your part of communication. You was able to regroup and say, okay, this can't happen again. Clearly, if she's still, she called you today and 15 minutes later you were calling her back, she already did the damage.
Right. Yeah. Because it had been, let's see,
maybe
it probably
about
15 years since she had did the last thing. Right. I done probably took her on something. in that time frame because you going with me to do something. It's something because you owe me now.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like you said, 15 years. So she had to have had some type of digression or, something to where it kept her being like, I can't be doing that.
Right.
And then she called you to be like, friend, talk me out of this.
Yep, I missed her
and you
call.
was too late. She had to crack the windows.
I'm like,
crack the mirrors.
We can't do this. We can't do this. Can't do this behavior again. No.
So what are some like healthy boundaries that should be known and unknown in a friendship? I'm thinking some on lines of like, you have this friend, and like you said earlier, don't put me in a situation like that again. I was with you, I rode with you, I had business with you, but the next time you want to do something like this, keep me out of it.
Yeah.
That'd be a good, healthy boundary. We can still be cool.
Yeah,
I still write you in jail.
Yeah, I'll write you in jail.
But I can't put up no bond.
And I give you $25 or maybe a week for your commissary. But I can't go with you.
Earlier, so you said you didn't have no commissary.
Well, the phone call part, that's a little more expensive.
That's a little more.
So I can give you $20. $20, and that's $80 for a month. So we're gonna have to do every other week. That's $40.
Hey. I'm on the podcast, my buddy. Kobe has something to say about it. This is my dog, Kobe. Kobe, enough. And we will be back. And we are back. So, setting those healthy boundaries can also allow you guys' friendship to grow.
Right.
Allow your guys' friendship to be healthier. What about helping our listeners to understand when they make a toxic person, a toxic friend? Kobe, enough. Sorry about that, people. Kobe said he wants to be a part of the conversation. So how can someone determine if they have toxic friends or if they are the toxic person?
Yeah.
Or if they have petty friends or they are the petty person? There could be a group of petty people because they do like to hang out with each other.
Right.
They do come in swarms.
Right, they definitely do. Some people like to live through their friends too.
Vicariously, yeah, they do. I think that I grew up with some people that fed off each other in good and bad ways. Like I remember my friend was not feeling well, so we kind of let them sleep, and we all jumped in the car and went to see who was at the club. And we in the parking lot, we see somebody that they interact with, and we all in his mix. Like, what you doing here? You don't see her here. Why you do what you gonna do? So we became the petty people at that point.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, I think if she was present, she probably been like, "Park, let's see what he gonna do."
Right.
Like let's see who he talking to, or this that and the other. But it was fun when you're young and being petty. It's fun. But as you get older, things are kind of unnecessary.
Right.
I think learning how to heal from the trauma that you had with being with somebody that was toxic is huge.
Right. I
think that person trying to grow and not be toxic is a place to heal as well.
Right.
How would you feel if somebody said to you, well, the only reason I'm this way is because of stuff I see you do?
Well, that'd probably be one of the kids or something. Hey.
I mean, if you were the type of person that would run down people, and your friends seeing how you deal with conflict, that would be their resolve.
Yeah, right.
People can grow at different stages and different times. You might have been friends your whole life, but you're growing more into being an adult and being, less dramatic, and they're still in that same situation.
Right.
So how could you help our listeners with their friends or with their own toxic ways?
Well, first of all,
if I was your friend and I'm sitting here How would you say it?
I ask my friend, like, what's going on with you?
Girl, everything. Everybody just on my nerves and I can't stand them all.
And I would want to know the reason why you can't stand everybody.
Because every time I come around, it's always something. Somebody always trying to talk crazy to me.
Always.
So I gotta pop their tires.
Ooh, I would suggest pop their tires. Maybe go around them friends a little less.
How else am I gonna deflate them?
Don't go over there.
Oh.
Why are you continuously going around people that you don't get along or they getting on your nerves back to back?
Because I like the other people, I just don't like them. Okay. They just happen to be there.
Okay, well, chill with the other person when they're not there.
Oh.
Put timing.
Well, I was at the grocery store the other day and they were there. I had to say hi. But then they took it off to a whole nother level when they rolled their eyes at me. I wanted to throw some Frankenbeans on them. Frankenbeans.
I like Frankenbeans. Throw them my way.
Oh, totally, you too funny.
But I would just suggest that, find a different time, discuss how I feel with that particular friend or friends that I do get along with, and tell them I would rather spend time with them when they're not around, and just about timing. And then about accountability, like what are they doing so bad that they're getting on your nerves? You know what I'm saying? Like
sometimes you gotta, like you said,
look at it both ways. Yeah, just boom. Why are you stressing your own self out?
That's you make a good valid point. Why stress yourself out because somebody else is acting some kind of way?
Right. I just
what you eat don't make them cool.
Right. I just want to go around them.
Right. So I'm gonna send this question to our audience. Have you ever confronted a toxic friend, or were you on the one end of a friendship that was petty or toxic? How about you tell me your stories? We could share some of these on the air. I could bring up some type of interaction between us all to help us better this community, this hot topic community. What advice would you give someone that was stuck in a toxic relationship right now? Like if you know somebody that's in a relationship with their partner and that relationship is, boiling over, how could you help them to see from the outside in? Because most people that are in those situations can't see it because they're in it. Right. It's just like being in the eye of a tornado. It seems all calm when you're in there. You can see the chaos out around it, but when you're in it, it's not as bad.
Right.
So how could you get your friend to see that her changes need to be made, or could be made to where she has less stress and less heartache? Because you know what? Black women, they lead in heart condition deaths.
Right.
There's heart diseases riddled through us. Mm-hmm. So in order to bring this calmness, bring this peacefulness, we gotta start it somewhere.
Right.
It's not like smoking. You can't give yourself a date and say, January 1st, I'm gonna quit smoking. You should probably stop it that day. So today I'm gonna reach out to my audience and say, hey, if you're in a toxic relationship, find some help, talk to a friend, get out of the situation before it becomes physical.
Right.
It becomes detrimental to your survival. And if you are that toxic person, evaluate yourself. Think about the things that you've done. Think about the things that you've caused to happen, and see if there's something that you could do to help yourself. Find a friend as well. Talk to a friend. Talk to a family member. Talk to whoever you need to talk to be able to see, have I been this kind of friend? If you have put yourself in a situation where you can go to jail, you can be hurt, or you can be retaliated against, then maybe you are the toxic person. And we're here to help. This is Hot Topics with my special guest, Toni. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And this is E PeeZee, and we appreciate you guys all coming in for the Sizzle Crew. Let's start a hashtag. Go to Twitter and type in Sizzle Crew, and I will hear all your questions. Give me some ideas for topics. This is all about our community and how we can interact with each other and get some things off our chests and laugh about a couple things too. So I'll catch you later on the next episode. This is Hot Topics with E PeeZee.